Welcome back to the GovCon Intel Briefing, produced by cybercloudai.tech. I'm Alex, and it's June 16th, 2026. We're here to cut through the noise and deliver the most impactful federal opportunity, agency, acquisition, cyber, cloud, AI, and capture signals directly to you. CybercloudAI.tech is dedicated to helping small businesses and GovCon teams navigate this complex landscape, providing top-tier cybersecurity, cloud, AI, and federal capture strategy without the Fortune 500 overhead. Joining me, as always, is the brilliant and high-energy Maya.
Thanks, Alex. Always a pleasure to dive into the intel with you. We've got some really significant signals this week, especially on the cloud and cyber fronts. Let's jump right in, shall we? First up, a massive win that's been making waves. AWS has secured a $2.6 billion DHS-wide cloud project.
That's a huge number, Maya. Tell us more about this Cumulus initiative. What does it mean for the federal cloud landscape and for our listeners?
Absolutely, Alex. This $2.6 billion award to AWS for the DHS Cumulus initiative is just the first piece of a much larger puzzle. FedScoop reports that this is part of an estimated rolling award schedule that will ultimately include other hyperscalers like Oracle, Google Cloud, and Microsoft. So while AWS has taken the initial lead, this isn't a winner-take-all scenario. For our listeners, this is a clear signal that DHS is doubling down on cloud adoption, and they're looking for multi-cloud solutions. If you're a small business or a GovCon team specializing in cloud migration, optimization, security, or even specific application development on any of these major platforms, this is your cue to start researching the prime contractors involved with each hyperscaler. The opportunities for subcontracting and specialized support are going to be immense as these awards roll out. Think about the integration challenges, the data governance, the security overlays. It's a whole ecosystem opening up.
That's a fantastic breakdown, Maya. So while AWS has the initial headline, the story is far from over for other cloud providers and their ecosystem partners. Shifting gears a bit, we've also seen a cluster of interesting signals coming out of the Army, specifically around cyber, data, and edge computing. Defense Scoop recently featured videos with key Army leaders. Let's start with Brandon Pugh discussing workforce investment for stronger cyber defense.
Yes, Alex, these Army insights are gold. Brandon Pugh's emphasis on workforce investment for cyber defense is critical. It tells us that the Army isn't just focused on technology, but on the human element, training, upskilling, and retaining talent to operate and defend their networks. For our listeners, this isn't just about selling a product. It's about offering services in cyber training, talent development, and even managed security services that augment existing Army teams. Then we have Lieutenant General Jeth Ray talking about making Army data move at mission speed. This is all about data fabric, data lakes, and ensuring information flows seamlessly from the edge to the command center. It screams demand for data engineering, AI/ML for data processing, and robust high-speed networking solutions. And finally, Brigadier General Anthony Gibbs on edge computing's role in faster battlefield decisions. This is where the rubber meets the road, or perhaps where the data meets the dirt. Edge computing is about processing data closer to the source, reducing latency, and enabling real-time decision-making. This means opportunities in ruggedized hardware, specialized software for tactical environments, secure connectivity at the edge, and AI algorithms that can run efficiently on limited resources. It's a very on-the-ground application of cloud and AI principles. So if your solutions can help the Army compute at the edge, secure their data, or train their cyber warriors, you've got a clear path to engagement.
You can almost hear the data packets flying, Maya. It's clear the Army's looking for comprehensive solutions across the cyber, data, and edge spectrum. Now let's pivot to some agency and customer intelligence that can help our listeners with their capture strategies. Federal News Network recently ran a piece on Jim Flyzik, the former Treasury CIO who served during an era of big change and helped set up the Department of Homeland Security.
This is a great example of why understanding the history and the people behind the agencies is so important for capture, Alex. Jim Flyzik's story isn't just a historical footnote. As a former Treasury CIO who then helped establish DHS, he embodies a foundational understanding of both financial systems and national security infrastructure. For anyone looking to do business with DHS, knowing the perspectives of its architects, understanding the challenges they faced in its formation, and the priorities that shaped its early days can provide invaluable context. It helps you anticipate agency needs, understand their cultural nuances, and tailor your messaging to resonate with their long-term vision. It's about building relationships and trust, not just selling a widget. It's about understanding the why behind their requirements.
That's spot on, Maya. Knowing the history helps you predict the future, or at least understand the present better. Now, let's talk about some broader market movements that our listeners should definitely keep an eye on. GovExec recently highlighted the potential impact of a debt ceiling breach, specifically that it could mean the federal government decides not to pay any government employees.
This is a watch list item with significant implications, Alex. While a debt ceiling breach is often averted at the last minute, the mere discussion and the potential for it to impact federal employee pay creates uncertainty. For GovCon teams, this can translate into delayed contract awards, slower payment cycles, and a general tightening of the federal purse strings, even temporarily. It's a reminder to maintain healthy cash reserves and diversify your pipeline. On a different note, Federal News Network also reported that the Senate Armed Services Committee, or SASC, is moving to codify Trump's executive order targeting defense stock buybacks. This provision would require contractors to submit a defense investment plan to increase production capacity or face restrictions on shareholder distributions.
That's a direct hit on how defense contractors operate, isn't it? What's the takeaway here for our listeners?
It absolutely is, Alex. This SASC move signals a clear push from Congress to prioritize reinvestment in production capacity and innovation over shareholder returns within the defense industrial base. For large primes, this means a strategic reevaluation of their financial models and potentially more capital flowing into R&D, infrastructure, and supply chain resilience. For smaller GovCon firms, especially those in the defense sector, this could create opportunities. As primes are incentivized to invest in production, they might look to acquire innovative smaller companies, partner on new technologies, or increase the reliance on specialized subcontractors to meet these new capacity demands. It's a shift that could open doors for agile, tech-focused businesses.
Excellent insights, Maya. It's a complex environment, but with these signals, our listeners can better position themselves. So let's wrap up with 3 practical capture actions our listeners can take based on today's intelligence.
All right, 3 concrete actions. First, regarding the DHS Cumulus Cloud project, don't just watch. Research the known prime contractors for AWS and proactively identify potential teaming partners for Oracle, Google Cloud, and Microsoft as those awards are announced. Start building those relationships now, focusing on how your cybersecurity, cloud, or AI capabilities can augment their offerings. Second, for the Army signals, dive deep into the specific initiatives mentioned by Brandon Pugh, Lieutenant General Jeff Ray, and Brigade General Anthony Gibbs. Identify the specific programs or offices driving cyber workforce development, data admission speed, and edge computing. Align your capabilities directly to these stated priorities and look for relevant RFIs or sources sought notices. And third, on customer intelligence. Leverage insights from leaders like Jim Flyzik. Use historical context to inform your account research for DHS. Understand the agency's evolution, its core challenges, and its long-standing priorities. This deeper understanding will make your proposals and outreach far more impactful and tailored.
Those are 3 incredibly actionable steps, Maya. Thank you for that. And thank you to all our listeners for tuning in to the GovCon Intel Briefing, produced by cybercloudai.tech. We hope these insights help you sharpen your focus and accelerate your capture efforts. Remember, for comprehensive GovCon cybersecurity, cloud, AI, compliance, and capture support, visit www.cybercloudai.tech. And for more great technology and GovCon podcasts, you can find us at www.cybercloudai.tech/Spotify. We'll be back next time with more essential GovCon intelligence. Until then, keep capturing those opportunities.
See you next time.